Well, how are you, my people? Hope you're really having fun. This is Rokani David, and this is the 10th of October 2024. Mikel Merino has gone ahead, obviously, address Rodri's injury. And you know, to it that Rodri is really one of those people that is really very integral into the Man City squad. And if you don't believe in me, then I don't know who you're going to believe in, but Rodri is the guy, and he's really one of those that has gone ahead, obviously, put in a very huge shift into the mix. And smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So we are going to be talking a little bit about Paulinho, obviously having his own concerns as far as not getting enough playing time at the side of not getting enough game time at the side of Bayern Munich ever since he went ahead, obviously be brought in, right? Then I think, should we do some John Duran? You know, I think we should do Rodri, John Duran, and John Stones. I think those are the stories that we are supposed to obviously be doing in here. I think for Paulinho, because it really has a lot of things to dive into, I believe it's better we obviously came up with it independently. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? I think that serves a better purpose than anything else in here. So let's do three stories. One, we are going for Mikel Merino. Then after Mikel Merino, we'll obviously go in for a side called John Stones, and we do some John Duran. So let's see close to 100 likes much on this video. And you know very well that we are powered by none other than Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, right? And you know how this comes on. They are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, and even if you want a used phone and a used laptop, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and you'll thank me later that Rokani, you gave me the best deal of the year. And as 2024 comes to an end, because we are really in October, and if you're in October, we are left with 2 months, and that is November and December. So that's what you're really having in here, and it's Mono Gadgets for you. Call them on that number, or follow them on TikTok and search for Mono Gadgets. The rest will be history. Now we also have another partner that has been working with us, though secretly, not here on the screen, but he goes by the names of Dental Care. Dental Care is really nominated in these awards, and in the lower description box below you'll see what we call Dental Care link. Go ahead and really vote, you know, use your Google account to vote and really spread love to see it that we bring this award home. Guys, this is a company that I'm really part of, and it's like we're supporting Rokani David. So this is a reciprocation that is really being called in for. Guys, reciprocate back the love. Please go into the lower right, go into the description box, and you'll see the link, and there is vote Dental Care. Just vote. This link is safe. These are awards, and I'm calling upon for you guys to obviously show me the required love that we are really gonna be seeing from you. So guys, thank you very much for watching through, and let's obviously get straight into the story of Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino is back playing for Spain. Remember, after he won the Euros, Spain never played any other game. He came in through at Arsenal, and he missed out onto the opening games. He missed out onto the opening games of Real Sociedad, and the same applies to Arsenal. And towards, I think, the end of the summer transfer window, that's when he signed for Arsenal. And during his first training session, he really got, I think, a dislocation in his shoulder, and that kept him out for like 4 or 5 weeks. But he made his return when they're playing against PSG, and over the weekend when they're beating Southampton 3-2, he played some 30 minutes in that encounter. And guess what? The manager of Spain was like, welcome back. You're one of the integral players that really did a very huge job when my team Spain was lifting the Euros. And if at all remember that header when they were playing against Germany, oh my God, he really went ahead to put in a very beautiful shift in there for you. So he is part of the Spanish national team, and he has gone ahead, obviously, say lots of things. He has talked about Mikel Arteta. He has talked about how joining Arsenal is a dream come true. And guess what? He has also come up and obviously told us lots and lots of things in here for you. Now, Mikel Merino has talked about very many things, but first and foremost, I've picked out one. I'm going to do the other stories that he has going to talk about as they face a side of Denmark, but this one was really very, very important. And he said that he was asked, Mikel Merino, on footballers getting injured. He said, there is a lot of talk about injuries and the number of games, and within the professions, we all have a very similar opinion. I love playing football, but when you do it so often, there comes a time when your body doesn't keep up with your head, and that's when the danger comes in. But we can't blame everything on that, because there have been 2 injuries to Carvajal and Rodri, so close together. What we have to do is to take care of ourselves. It has to be a joint effort. Everyone has to feel that the players are 100% fit, because there will be more entertainment, a higher level of play, and that is something that FIFA, UEFA, and the fans want. It is everyone's responsibility to reach a neutral point and resolve all this. Now, this is Mikel Merino for you speaking, and he has hinted onto his fellow Spanish players that are going to obviously see their seasons rule out because of the ACL injuries they've gonna hate to play. And some people say it's because of the very many games that they've gonna hate to play, but I believe it's all about being unlucky on the night or on the day, because when luck kicks in, I tell you what, a lot obviously goes ahead to obviously come out the players' way. But I think these players were just unlucky. Let's obviously admit these players were just unlucky, because if luck was on their side, it's not the first time they're really playing these minutes. When you're playing for Real Madrid like when you're playing for Man City like Rodri, and you play every game, you almost average 16 games per season. And these are the number of games that Rodri has gonna hit to be playing. So I think it's all about him being unlucky, and maybe those are injuries that really come to players, you know, not on a regular basis, but these are injuries that at least every player has to really gate or face in his career. So, talking about Rodri, I think deep inside his heart, he was like, all right, we are not going to miss him on the Spanish national team, because when he's around, I'm not a starter into the Spanish national team, and we know that it's Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Merino, sorry, it's Fabian Ruiz and Rodri that start in the midfield of Spain. And in the absentia of Rodri, I believe that Mikel Merino is really going to get a start into that game of Spain. I don't think that Zubimendi is really going to get ahead of him, because even during the Euros, the manager took him on first, or put him first on the pitch before he brought on Mikel Merino. Was it because that Rodri was really undroppable? But we're waiting to see how the team of Spain is really going to be lining up over the weekend when they are taking on Denmark. It's really going to be a tricky game in there. And for those that really love football, that will be a very good game to watch. All these teams are really strong, and there is the way they obviously put in shifts that went ahead obviously excite people in here. So that is Rodri for you, and he's like, players have to really come up and obviously take care. And one thing I've got to like about Mikel Merino is I've not gonna hate to hear him cry crocodile tears that we are playing very many games. You are playing very many games, but these are the same number of games that players like Rio Ferdinand, you can talk about Messi, used to play. Messi, ever since Pep Guardiola came in through, he averaged, ever since Pep Guardiola came in through as the manager of Barcelona, the guy was averaging 60 games per season. You get 60 games per season. Him and Ronaldo, you get, and even other players, the Pilos, the Iniestas, they're averaging the same number of games, you know. And it's not now that players are playing 60 games. Players have been playing these games way back, you get. So all I know is that managers need to turn into laptop managers. You have to sit down there and obviously come up with a decision on how many minutes a player is supposed to play. And resting these players and rotation is really going to be key in these moments. And in those games where you believe, that a lot has obviously come up and really changed, you need to obviously rotate these players and see to it they don't obviously get affected a lot. But he also has partners injured at Arsenal, and for Arsenal it's really worse. If at all these injuries are non short term, it will be really very bad for the side of Arsenal. Remember, Partey is injured, and Kai Havertz is also injured. Those two have gone ahead to join Martin Odegaard and Kieran Tierney. But Martin Odegaard, yesterday we saw to it that he was really making a very huge returning effort, and I was like, oh, if he returns in that side of Arsenal, competition is going to be high and creativity is really going to increase and go to the next level. So that is exactly what is going to obviously come up into what we're going to obviously put out in here for you onto this channel, and that is Mikel Merino for you. But he's really geared up, and for Arsenal fans, you should really be excited that he might even come back and really start in your next game you're going to play against Bournemouth. Why? If he really features well for Spain and gets in some 60 minutes in the tank, 90 minutes in the tank maybe in the second game, obviously he's really going to blossom. I tell you, out of the two games that Spain is really going to be playing into the international break, Mikel Merino will start one, and when he starts one, obviously have to play close to 60 minutes or 70 in there. Now, is it going to be against Denmark? I cannot tell, but when you look at the Nations League, right, when you look at the Nations League fixtures, Spain is going to be playing Denmark. That is on Saturday. Then after playing Denmark on Saturday, Spain will play which other side? Let me look for it in here. Spain will play Serbia. So out of those two games, Serbia and Denmark, I think this guy will have all what it takes to obviously start one of those games. And I tell you what, it's not gonna be an easy one, but obviously it's really gonna be huge into the making. So that is what we've gonna have to get in from Mikel Merino, and let's obviously get to the side of Liverpool, the Mercy side. Now, Alisson Becker has been out for some weeks, and the assessment had not gone ahead obviously be provided to us, but finally we've gone ahead obviously get an assessment on how long Alisson Becker is really going to be out, because you saw Kahela coming in through to be in the stitches in the different games. But finally we have a statement put out here by Paul Joyce of the Times that Alisson Becker's injury will have him sidelined until after the international break of November. Oh my God, he's really gonna be out until the international break of November. And Alisson Becker is really one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and there is no team that would like to obviously come up and not obviously have what we call their best player in the league. You understand? So when you look at Liverpool, they are going to play the following games without the guy called Alisson Becker, because the international break of November is really gonna come later. Now, when we return from the international break, Liverpool is gonna be playing Chelsea, and the big question is, would like to play Chelsea and Arsenal without your fantastic goalkeeper or your number one choice goalkeeper? I don't think so. But Arsenal is gonna be hosting Liverpool at the Emirates on the 27th of October. That is in the Premier League. In the Champions League, Liverpool is going to be playing away at RB Leipzig. Then they'll have to play Brighton in the third round, sorry, in the round of 16 of the EFL Cup. Then Liverpool will have to play Brighton again. It's really going to be a double header. They play Brighton in the midweek away in the EFL Cup, and then Liverpool is going to be hosting Brighton at the Anfield Stadium in the midweek, right? Then after playing on the weekend, they'll play Bayern Leverkusen. Liverpool will play Bayern Leverkusen, and then before we go to the international break, Liverpool will have to play Aston Villa. So Liverpool has 4 hard games for me. Chelsea Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, and Aston Villa. Good enough, they are hosting 3 of these games at home, and they're going to be playing away at Arsenal. So they're really going to be having a very huge test. And Alisson Becker is anticipated to return on the 24th of November. That's when we expect Alisson Becker to return to be in between the stitches for the club of Liverpool. And now, this is how things really come to reality. And I was in certain TikTok live, I think it was on Sunday, and people were like, Liverpool is doing well. I told them that I hate it when people really start to get moved on. For me, it's a set of games that really coming through. It's not an easy stuff, right? It's not easy stuff. These are not really easy things to do. That it's rocket science, you know? You remember last season, Ange Postecoglou came in here and he won 10 games. The 10 opening games, and he had maximum points 30. Everyone was like, is he really gonna come out and really complete or take the trophy or really win the 4th place and really qualify for the Champions League? I was like, Spurs is not gonna do that, because I need to eat that. You need to be consistent to be in the top 4. You get? And Spurs went ahead, obviously implode. They capitulated. You get? And now you see they finished 5th, but they reached an extent when they are really in the mood. They had picked up the rhythm and they're really killing off any team, you get? But when the right time came in through, Spurs went ahead to implode. So I don't want to come out and really trust Liverpool. It's something that is going to be orchestrated in the field of play, and by the time they go on, you know, that's when I'll come up and say, all right, Liverpool and Ancelotti have gone ahead, obviously, prove me wrong, and they've gone ahead, obviously, put in a very good shift all together. So, guys, thank you very much for watching through, and this is what you're really having in through, and we are talking injuries, by the way. And today, the injury of Harry Kane has been confirmed that he's really not going to be in the team that is really going to be playing against, is it Greece? I think England is playing Greece today. And guess who is really going to be the captain? Obviously, the captain is John Stones. And his reply to this has really left me very amazed. And Jack Pitbrook has come out and told us that John Stones will lead England out for the first time at Wembley on Thursday as the captains England in the absentia of Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane is really going to be missing in action, and we know the reason as to why. The guy is really having injuries, and these injuries are really coming in through, and I don't know why. When it comes to England, he's injured, but for Bayern Munich, he plays almost every game, so something has to be investigated. You know? Something has to be investigated, and after those investigations have to be taken, then a very huge stance will have to be taken. You understand? But all I understand is simple, right? All I understand is simple, that John Stones has the qualities to be a captain. He has the experience, and he's one of the seniorest players at the team of. He's one of the seniorest players at the team of England. You know, I remember he played his first major tournament. You get? He played his first major tournament. We know that was way back. You get? It was really way back. You know? Way back in 2018, the World Cup, where all those Hurricanes were really playing in their first big major tournament. You get? And he really gave them the best that they really deserve. You understand? So, all we went ahead to get was simple, that he's really going to be a leader and he's a senior player there. At Man City, we've gone ahead to see him exercising his leadership skills, and you saw to it that he's the man who prevented Man City from really losing that game. You remember that game very well, right? When Arsenal was really playing that side that you know very well. You get that side that you know very well. And that side that you know very well is Arsenal. Man City went ahead to obviously draw late. And guess who scored that goal? It was none other than what's the name? It was none other than this guy, John Stones, who came up and obviously put in the required shift altogether. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I call upon you for your reactions into the comment section below about Mikel Merino addressing Rodri's injury, and Odegaard's injury and very many others. What do you make about it? What do you think about Alisson Becker? Do you think Liverpool is going to survive those 4 games? Brighton, Aston Villa, Chelsea, and Arsenal without Alisson Becker in between the stitches. And lastly, what do you make about John Stones captaining England today in the absentia of Harry Kane? Do you think he's really going to be a very good leader and he's really going to really portray the best of the best in this kind of game? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David is my name, and I'm out.